music. So hopefully, yeah, best of everybody. Just play one person. Hey, Steve, what's up? All right, I'll be watching you. All right, hi there, everybody. Hi there, if we can take a seat. There's some time for going. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Thanks so much. Wow, thanks a lot. I didn't know if that's going to go really well. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here for another TCNewTech. This is TCNewTech for May 2016, and it's a little bit different tonight. We don't have Russell Schindler. We don't have Lisa Baker. We just got me. Russell's in Detroit, and he's presenting in Detroit. We're really excited for him. Sample, sir. So Preston's watching on the internet. Give him hell, buddy. All right, there's the internet there. So, but we're going to switch things up a little bit. I want to try and keep things nice and tight. I've talked to all the presenters. I don't have any glaring objections. They've sort of signed releases and things like that. I'm a lawyer. And so in my earnest effort to keep it kind of tight, if things go over 5 minutes and 15 seconds, that's 5 minutes, 15 seconds, fair warning, I am going to play Academy Award music. I'm going to do it to myself. And if anyone wants to hold me accountable, you're more than welcome to do so. But we're going to dry run it right now. And it's you don't. There's no warning. So I'm talking about my great product, and I'm so excited to be here in Traverse City. And this is the best town to do all sorts of business, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait. And there's the Academy Award music. It's placed right here for the presenter. I don't necessarily want to embarrass you. I could turn to the audience, but that's no fun. But discreetly, quietly, you hear the Academy Award music. There you go. Now you can go Sally Field and keep talking and just say, "Oh, thank you, Mom and Dad." You know, you all love me. You really, really love me. That's fine, but it's there. So 5:15, and this may be the last time we do it because again, Russell will be back and things will go back to normal. But there we go. So here we are, TCNewTech. A friendly reminder: we're a tech group. We all have phones, presumably. Shut them down. I'm sure there's some hacker amongst us that could fix that, remotely wipe your phone if you don't, so fair warning if there is. Most importantly, restrooms are to the right, doors that way, so there's that. Housekeeping, that's right. My right, your left. You're heading that way. Most importantly, thank you to our sponsors. We've been really, really lucky. We're at about a year now with TCNewTech. It started off a little bit smaller, now we got a nice big group here, and we're located in Traverse City's Dungeon, and it's really, really great. And this is a great room, and we absolutely you. And the rest of our friends here, Great Traverse Business Designs, Mr. Joey DeFranco in the back. Right on, Joey. True Job, we're going to be talking about them at the end. There's a lot of really great stuff tonight about opportunities and jobs in Northern Michigan. True Job, we're really excited about because they're working with us, TCNewTech, to create a portal for people here in Northern Michigan to try and find tech-related jobs. So, them. Access Point Human Resources, statewide HR company. They've done a lot of stuff all along for TCNewTech, including sponsorship and gifts and things like that. So Thank you to them. Me, Trevor Schlegel, attorneys and advisors. It's kind of like, it's kind of, I should put my name out there, but also that's cool. I do stuff that's great. Trevor Schlegel is Enrico Schaefer. He's a great guy. They do a lot of IP work. Really sharp dude. He's over in the comments. Great stuff for him. Manal Services, Jim's here along with Jess. They do the web stuff in the front end. Always appreciate Jim. Sample Serve, Russell Schindler, our benevolent dictator. As stated, he's in Detroit doing what he does best, hopefully selling sampleserve.com. And if you need him, call him or go to his website. Echo, here, the wonderful space. Thank you, friends. Traverse City Area Chamber of Commerce. It is a great chamber. They've supported us all along. We're really pumped to have them continue to be on board, so thanks to them. Patriot Voice, Mr. Randy Bishop. He's coming to town. He's currently in Gaylord, but trying to move operations to Traverse City. So, Randy, thanks so much for your support. And, of course, Chris at elevate.net. Chris in the back. Chris Schaefer. Mr. Schaefer, how are you, sir? All right. Thanks so much for your support. Thanks, everybody. Okay, we paid the bills. Now, let's get to why we're here, the presenters. And before we get to the presenters, dry rules. I've already warned all of them. Okay. The idea is to do something like a Shark Tank, where it's bam, bam, bam. Get the information in, you as the audience listen, and then 5 minutes of questions. In between these lightning rounds, we've got time for announcements. I think we have a couple lined up. If anyone wants to have an announcement, I'll say so, and people can jump up and do that. And then last, but certainly not least, TCNewTech, the hallmark of TCNewTech, happy hour afterwards, sponsored by our friends at Sunfrog. Have a drink on us, talk, mingle, your colleagues are here. It's really kind of like the most enriching part of this whole thing, so we really encourage you to stick around. Having said that, I'd like to introduce Mr. David Baumann from TentCraft. The floor is yours.
It can't work. Where's the intro? Like the cars.
You want it? You want it?
Thank you for the introduction. My name is David Baumann. I am the CTO over at TentCraft here in Traverse City, Michigan. If you don't know what TentCraft does, we actually make custom branded tents, hence the TentCraft. We do everything from 10x10 pop-ups. These are all custom branded tents for large event marketing shows. You see some of our work here. One of my favorites is our gigantic half Quaker oatmeal box in Times Square that we did in Quaker Oats. All done here, fabbed. Oop. Everything in Traverse City here.
There we go.
Excuse me real quick. See you in about 5 minutes.
We're gonna add it. That doesn't. He gets no Academy Award bonus. That's legit. All right. Sorry.
So you may be saying, what does a tent manufacturing company in Northern Michigan need the Internet of Things for? So I'm here speaking about tonight, and we're going to get into that. Overview tonight. I'm going to talk about what is the Internet of Things, why on earth would I need that, how can I do that? Because I'm going to sort of introduce the idea of why you would want these services. And how is TentCraft using the IoT, and then we'll follow up with questions. I tend to speak fast naturally, but now that I have 5 minutes and even maybe 4 minutes now, I'm talking faster. So Internet of Things, who's familiar with the idea of the Internet of Things? Okay, most people here, a lot of engineers, basically it's right there, right? It's putting things on the internet. It's a very rich word, right? Embedding sensors to physical objects, basically, whatever you want to get data from. Why on earth would I need that? So what I'm going to introduce you is a bit of the duality of the Internet of Things. I'm a two products here that are commercialized, wonderful products. The Nest is one that I use in my home. I love it. And first when it came out, people were saying, why would you put your thermostat on the internet? Well, when I'm driving back from downstate, and I'm in Cadillac, and it's like, 11 o'clock at night and the house is cold, I can pop up my phone, turn my heat on, my whole house gets the temperature I want by the time I'm home. The other one is automatic. That's data port in your car. It basically turns your car into an Internet of Things. It's giving you your information, how you brake, how your gas, where your location is. And again, people were saying, why would you need to know this? Well, I was at a conference out in San Francisco for Salesforce, and somebody had actually taken their automatics for all their sales folks out in the field. One press of a button uploaded all of their mileage, all their expense reports, everything right there. Not to mention you can track where they are. If you're, let's say you're a heating and cooling company or one of those things, you could say, hey, who's in the area? You could pop up you could see everyone, where they're at, and directly. Uses for the wonderful thing about this it's still very somewhat new, but the wonderful thing about it is there are so many devices now that are allow you to experiment with the Internet of Things. All these little microcontrollers that you can buy for, like, so the Pi Zero right here, this is a full Linux-based computer for $5. So for $5, you can buy a full computer in micro format that you can put to anything. It has access to the GPIO pins that can read sensor data. But I'm going to show you tonight, actually, 2 devices that I've developed using the Photon. This is a Wi-Fi enabled little microcontroller out of the box with their own abstracted layer for web API access. It makes it incredibly simple to do, really easy and fun applications for the Internet of Things. So what I'm here to present about 2 applications and devices that I've developed at our company, TentCraft. One is this, so like dipping our toes into the Internet of Things. So the caveat is huge security issues with this. So when you get into it, just realize that you want to make sure that you're doing it in the proper manner. Everything that I've done here is actually on our public Wi-Fi, which is locked down, so you can't get into our internal network. Because I'm trying to go through the process of, you know, how does this work? How can we use this for our company? How can this provide value? One of the things that I did to get into this was this is basically a temperature sensor that I've connected to the internet. So this right here, the temperature sensor, is in one of our print studios. We have to work within a certain range for our printers to be effective. Anytime we're out of that range, you know, the guys wouldn't necessarily know, and you start seeing issues with the print quality, the head stripping, those kind of things. So what I did is basically threw this back in the area, and every 5 minutes, this device wakes up, it takes the temperature, the humidity readings, pushes it to the internet. I wrote an API in Ruby and the Rails framework to collect the data and then present it to our users in Salesforce. So I can say, anytime it goes out of the range, right, I go out there and say, send an email to the operators to let them know that, hey, these things are without of the range. They start looking at the print quality, the machines and everything else, to give them a heads up. It's almost like an early warning system. Second device, this is sort of the genesis of Internet of Things. I affectionately call it the eye crapper. So we have single cell bathrooms in all our facilities. It always chapped me, no pun intended, to get up from my desk, walk across the facility, get to the bathroom, and it was locked, it was closed. I still have to go. Why can I not be at my desk and know when the bathroom is in use? So what you see here, I know. So what you see here is I have this box here with this device, the Photon that I showed you, connected to the internet. When it's not occupied, the light's off. Ladies' bathroom for the front office is unoccupied. When they close the door, there's a sensor in the door that I install, lights up the sign, it's occupied, like the airplane bathroom, and now the front office is occupied. So you can be at your desk, and you know. And so the reason I actually donated this to the ladies the first time. I'm a gentleman. But we have 2 pregnant ladies in the office, and they literally came up to me and said, "That's a great idea. I hate walking down the stairs and having to wait." And so this is for the pregnant ladies out there to make sure that they can actually go at the appropriate time. You know, our HR guys here, you proved it all. This is all up and up. There's no webcams involved. But again, the idea is you can take this data, the sensor, this information out there, and create actionable tasks based on that data using very simple, very cost-effective sensors across your organization. And that was like, I'm sorry if I went too quickly, but the idea is that you have an incredible opportunity in front of you to gather any information you want, report on it, highlight it, do whatever you want in a very cost-effective and easy manner. I think time is up. Questions? Yes. No music, so I did. Yes, sir.
What's your microcontroller choice?
So that was the Particle Photon. So it's particle.io is their website. The Particle's the company. They make the Photon here. They actually have, so I have the Wi-Fi enabled version of this. These are getting more and more popular. There's a really great website out there called Adafruit, and they do their own microcontrollers. They have their own wireless version of the Photon. The beauty about the Photon is you get it, you plug it in, you flash it, you put it on your network, and it's yours. And they have an entire abstracted web API that allows you to interact with that controller. So in my instance, you can actually get requests, you can actually send and get to that device. You can actually go out on the internet and say, on this device, what's this pin telling me right now? Temperature, pressure, you name it, you can get it on a get command, right? When I programmed it's basically a variant of C, which is what the language you use to program is. You go out there and you can actually do post commands. So you wake up every 5 minutes. It actually wakes up, goes out there and posts that information to my API, and then I use Salesforce to go out and get that data and pull it in.
Very cool.
The other microcontrollers, again, like you can do this with Arduino, with anything that has web enabled. Arduinos, you can do photons, Pis, you name it. As long as they have that capabilities and the GPIO pins and the sensors available, you can use any microcontroller you want.
How do you handle the power?
So power, the one thing on actually both on the eye crapper and my temperature sensor here. This is a very simple 9-volt USB adapter into this one. The eye crapper, I actually wired this little VNC on the photon. There's like I'm powered in. So I tested a 9-volt sensor. So I'm powering LEDs to light up the sign at the same time. You can actually use, I use a 9-volt and then use a voltage regulator to split it and a divider to sort of do more things into this. So you can, the beauty about these, because they are so low power, like the photon especially is only 5 volts. So you get a couple, double A batteries, you can actually power that that device, with batteries. Or even if you go to H3 again, they actually create solar collectors that you can actually hook these up to. So,
What type do you choose, Ruby?
I like the language. I've done Ruby, Python, C#, you name it, and just Ruby just sort of speaks to me. I'm a Ruby guy, yes. I have not, no. Yeah. And that's the one, the amazing thing is when you get into sort of developing, I mean, truly any idea you have, I mean, I'm not kidding, like, there's a sensor out there to capture. There's, there's light sensors, motion sensors, pressure sensors, anything you want to gather information on. You can spend literally $5 and have that information available to you while you're in your basement. That's, so things I'm looking forward to is actually next up on my list. There's 2 things. One is my coffee machine. I am that lazy that I want to wake up in the morning and I want to roll over and actually just push my button on my phone to start my coffee machine, because I have a puppy, so the hours are all off. I'm that lazy to even program it. I was like, I'm going to wake up and when the coffee's ready, I want to hit my button. So that's the next project, is that. The other one is actually I have an Alexa, the Amazon Echo. So now I'm actually doing voice command. My fireplace, it's just kind of again, I'm an IT guy. It's such a pain to actually reach in to flip a switch. Doing a voice command to actually start my fireplace. That's how lazy we are. I put my Christmas lights up to my remote control TV. Like again, the idea of microcontrollers and Internet of Things, whatever you want to do. Yes.
Do you have any tips for getting data from remote locations to the
Really, so a couple of so Photon actually the chip that I use to make these devices here, this temperature sensor and the eye crapper, they actually make a cellular version of it. So you can actually have again, you can actually buy prepaid cell card plans. You can load those up on the device, and actually anywhere in the world that can get cell service, you can actually, so if you're in the remote woods of where we live, you can actually open it up, ping it. If you can get cell service and provide a honey cabin, you can actually have, heat your honey cabin before you even get there. That's kind of the whole idea against what you have honey cabin for, but so yeah, so I would so the Photon product is actually I have other Bluetooth devices too. There's Bluetooth enabled devices. So I'm working on custom lighting apps for some of our products that you can actually just open up your phone, connect to the Bluetooth, and you can start controlling your whole tent with the idea, from your phone. So incredible power. Again, you could have a whole weekend spent on the security of this, so keep that in mind. But I recommend anybody test it out and have fun with it, because it's really cheap, it's easy, and it's a lot of fun, and not entirely creepy. Because it's bad. Any other questions? I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Future is now, and it is not crapper. That's right. That's cool stuff, especially with the Raspberry Pi in that. So that's a lot of fun. Thanks so much. More bills. Access Point. We thanked them. We're going to thank them again. Thanks so much for the support. And before I go, I got, let's see, announcements. Does anybody want to do any announcements while we're at it? Anyone for announcements? Ma'am, please, would you please take the floor?
I will go. I'm going to stand here.
Here, I'm going to help you out too. Make sure the mic so the internet can hear you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
You probably can't see me because it's so short. Hey, you guys are a lot of fun. I'm a marketing creative wacky kind of person, so I'm going to leave here a lot smarter. I'm the manager at Cowie, and I'm here because I want to make an announcement. And this is ideal place, I can tell. We are looking to bring our web service local. Right now, actually, for the last decade, our website at Founder Club was created down in Grand Rapids. We're locally founded, locally funded, locally focused. So hello, we have a website people here local. So I'm just making an announcement that we're working on bringing it more to grassroots and here locally. So if anyone is interested in finding out more information, just try and. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. Well, that's great. We want to keep stuff here in Traverse City, and I see our friends from NMC here as well, and they've got great programs. If you thumb through the summer catalog, I see some of the class that John's got going on. They dovetail really, really nicely in the presentations we had here today, so big ups to you, John. Any other announcements? Yes, ma'am, please. For the internet.
There is an event tomorrow night at the Inside Out Gallery called Fulfillment, and it's a storytelling event of local entrepreneurs and community leaders who tell their personal story towards fulfillment through work. And so they also challenge people to find out what it is that they love to do, and we give a $500 grant to one person in the audience with a good idea that needs some help to get moving. And so it's inspiring, it's fun, you get to hear stories from like the owner of Left Foot Charlie, or actually my midwife who's delivering my baby, and how they got to be doing what they are and how it fulfills them.
Awesome, thank you. All right, good. And we're gonna have more announcements later on, but thanks so much, and thanks, Donna. Great stuff. We want to keep stuff here local, so that's really cool of you. Thank you.
What time is it?
What
7
time?
o'clock.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock. Another bill to pay, Spectrum from Charter. Our friends who paid for the room. Thanks so much to Charter. I don't know if anyone from Charter is here, but I think that was a great segue into Chelsea Bay Dennis, who's going to be our presenter now from awesomejobalert.com. Here with Nick.
And this goes on the internet?
That's right. We got YouTube going there and a stream right there. Keep in touch, Scott. You got Academy Award music. All right.
Cool. I'm Chelsea Bay Dennis. This is Nick Dennis, my brother-in-law. And we've got a team over here too. My husband, Aaron Dennis, and Ben Elliott of Binary Trail Stonehut Studios. So I knew as a college student what my dream job was. I knew that I wanted to be a graphic designer working with environmentally and socially responsible companies. And most people don't know that when they're younger, but I knew it. And so I did it, and I moved out west, and I've never worked with a client that hasn't had that mission. So over the years, I've worked with tons of entrepreneurs, and usually in that field, people love what they do, and they want to make a difference. So naturally, when I moved back here and I'm working with all these people and they're looking for good employees, and I saw so many of my friends who didn't love what they do, I just started posting on my own Facebook page, Awesome Job Alert, just for shits and giggles. But people would start contacting me saying, well, tell me the details. And I'm like, I just want you to love what you do. So I started a Facebook page so I could be a little more anonymous and just post. And within a year, 5,000 people were following it and telling me, oh my God, I found my dream job and I love it. And I can use my skills and my passions, and I'm not just getting odd job. It's something I mean, and it's impactful, and I love it. So my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I saw what Chelsea was doing. I was really inspired, and thought she had something really cool here, and kept telling her she needed a full-fledged website so people could search and submit and all that kind of stuff. And 6 months of bugging her about it, she said, okay, you can start building a website. And I had just started a web development company with my friend Ben here, Binary Trail. So she gave us the go-ahead, and the four of us teamed up and started building a site where you can search and submit. And yeah, that's the bulk of it right now. And yeah, working on it.
Before that, I had to post every single one of them myself. So it's kind of nice to say, you can do it. So this has only been a week old live, actually. So please submit your jobs. But so the problem really out there is, 70% of people hate what they do. They either are disengaged or actively sabotaging their job. So that leaves only 30% of people who kind of like their job or actually do like their job. And that's a problem. You're not going to be very effective at work. You're not going to be happy. There's pieces missing. So we want to solve that problem by connecting purposeful employers, something that is making a difference in the world, which if you get the right candidates, you'll have fulfilled employees because they'll be using their skills and their passions at what makes them come alive. And then as a result, you'll have a impactful, alive community. So it's kind of threefold. The employers are happy, the job seekers are happy, and then your community is thriving. But it's a curated site. Not every job posting can really, if you're just packaging something in a bag all day long, that's not really meaningful. It's not really using your skills. So our criteria is it has to be meaningful, impactful, or unique. And I do unpack that on our site, what we mean by that. And really it's about community. So the tech guy is Nick and Ben, so I'll let him take over. We're totally in phase 1 right now, minimal viable product, figuring it out.
Yep. And we realized right away with a community like this is only going to be worth something if it's used by employers and people seeking. So right now we're just trying to build the community, work out the bugs, get people to post jobs and give us feedback. We're kind of testing the market. So there's featured jobs, but right now and stuff like that, but it's really not our priority. In phase 2, we're hoping to make a profile system so you can create a applicant profile and then employers will be able to search through applicants and find people without the people having to apply to them. Because a problem we kept hearing from employers is they spend all this money to put a job listing out there and they get 100 applications and 3 of them they actually want to talk to. So we're thinking we'll do that and then create an automated alert system and try to scale it to Michigan in phase 2. And by phase 3, we're hoping to have a premium membership for those employers so that they can actually search through the applicants the same way applicants can search through the jobs and only contact those people that intrigue them, that they think would be a good fit for their job. And we're hoping to take the process out of Chelsea's hands or out of one person's hands and crowdsource it. So there's some sort of voting system. It's like, is this an awesome job? And based on the people's reaction, the most awesome jobs will float to the top. And I'm really curious what that would mean, what would happen if we gave people the voting power there.
Right, because we all have full-time jobs and maybe 2 or 3 of them because we're entrepreneurs, so we can't, this is just for fun. So from you, we're looking to spread the word, post jobs. Maybe you even want to make a guest post about loving what you do. We want your feedback and we want your ideas. My favorite quote, don't ask yourself what the world needs, ask yourself what makes you come alive and go and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Yeah. Questions?
So you're focusing exclusively on Northern Michigan?
To start.
In phase 1, we want to work out the bugs, how is this going to work, and then, but I do think it works to look at, okay, local, Northern Michigan, and then there could be a Southern Michigan version, or we're not quite sure yet, but that's where we're starting.
I think this only works because it started with a tight-knit community and people trust Chelsea and they came to her for their honest, they wanted her honest opinion, what jobs are available and stuff like that.
Hey, have you guys connected with the Western Michigan Works yet?
No.
Not completely.
Okay, yeah, they're awesome. So.
On your radar?
You can chat after.
Perfect.
What's an example of an awesome job?
I would say Food for Thought is looking for a marketing director right now. They're organic, fair trade jams who not only empower farmers here, but also in third world countries. And if you have a job there, that's also pretty empowering. Or addiction treatment services, working to help change people's lives. Or, impactful is making a difference, whether it's in people's lives or in the environment or working at Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy, but it could also just be amplifying your skills and paying your fair wage.
And it depends on the specific job within the organization too. We've had, companies submit 2 or 3 jobs and we've had to tell them only one of these really fits with the criteria. Dishwasher doesn't count, kind of thing,
What kind of traffic have you guys gotten the first week?
Yeah, so far we've had really good employer traffic. So that was, our first thing was we realized there has to be jobs to get people to the site. So since it's literally been a week, I would say great employer traffic. So on the applicant traffic, that's honestly like next week we're probably gonna dig into our plan for that.
I still didn't put out a press
I'm-
release.
But that's not very specific, obviously. It's in the hundreds per day, but
Forgive me if you already said, but what's the timeline on the ability to create a profile, maybe, as a job seeker?
we don't know entirely. And
Okay.
honestly, as soon as we're able to, and the market proves it wants it, basically. I mean, if we get no traction whatsoever once we start working on something like that, then maybe we'll just change our phase 2. But I would say within the next few months, hopefully have it done.
So is there a review of meaningful and impactful and unique job descriptions? At what point is that decided?
Yeah, right now.
Well, and we actually, when you submit a job, you have to fill that out. Like
Oh,
Craigslist, I hate it how people post jobs and they don't post who the company is. Like, I need to know who you are. So we make sure that they post the region, the name of their job, their mission, but what makes this job unique or impactful or meaningful.
So
And then
as an employer, we can submit.
You submit.
to review.
and then you'll know within the first 24 hours or less, if it's approved, and then it'll post automatically to Facebook as well. And then once you're approved, you can also choose to feature it, which we'll put at the very top.
So are there other options besides Facebook, like LinkedIn and Twitter?
There's Twitter right now,
Twitter.
but we're going to expand to LinkedIn and probably Pinterest at some point. But we're trying to automate as much as possible. So if a job listing is approved, then it'll automatically get posted 30 minutes later to Facebook and Twitter.
I'm being very uncommittal right now because I'm expecting, and I'm usually so good with driving forward, and I'm uncommittal. I don't know what to do.
What's the cost of that post that job?
What's
It's free,
Oh, yeah.
unless you want to feature it. So it's free right now.
Well done. Thank you. I like this. There's a good feel to tonight. We got Donna here with the website and this impactful job. So there's a lot happening here in Grand Traverse County and Traverse City, and I think that comes out through TCNewTech. We're at almost 400 members. We've got nice numbers here tonight. Thanks so much for coming out. I think this is the first ever TCNewTech, including last summer, where we aren't in a blizzard or a storm. So thank you for braving what would have been a tornado, but apparently we dodged it. But thank you. We really appreciate it. And we also really appreciate Mantle. Jim's here and Jess, and they're with Mantle Services. They provide enterprise class tech consulting and development solutions tailored specifically for small to mid-sized businesses, giving any company access to the high-end expertise they need without the high-end cost. And frankly, how nice is that to have that here in our backyard, here in Traverse City? So they do a great job. Big props to Mantle. And of course, as I already said, our benevolent dictator, A. Russell Schindler, is in Detroit, but God bless him anyways. SampleServe.com. He's doing some really, really cool stuff. And he has data automation, environmental sampling. He is in TC. He's in the northern Michigan area. He does stuff downstate, and he also does stuff across the country. Russell's doing great stuff. So that is that for Mr. Schindler. More announcements. Does anyone want to jump in with announcements? Yes, ma'am, please. And if I could introduce you to the internet, by the microphone.
Let me know if y'all can't hear me. I've got a headphone. Hi, my name is Sarah Weiner, and I am the community coordinator. We are co-hosting a science symposium May 18th for our students, where the students are going to be designing something and then 3D printing it out, and they have to have a design model that goes along with that, explaining their choices. And we're looking for judges right now. You don't really have to know much other than basically what it comes to, like when you have an idea, what you go through and design it, and know that the students are thinking through the process. Most of our students are elementary schools, so very simple, basic. And we've got a few high school students too this year, so we're really excited about that. So come find me if you're interested in being a judge.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? All right. I have a plug for something I'm doing. this Thursday at the Workshop Brewery over in the Warehouse District. Citizens meeting. I've got 2 projects. Citizen is the civic hacking portion of TCNewTech. And I've got 2 cool things going on. I'd love people to be there. It goes with mapping in Traverse City and mapping in Greater Traverse County. I can fill you in on more details. I don't know how to do it, but I hope someone here does. In fact, I know somebody here does, and a lot of people here do. So it should be cool. And it's something that's non-political, but it's something that I think will help, broadly speaking, visualize some of the things that are happening or could happen in Grand Traverse County using Google Maps and mapping data. So 6 o'clock, the workshop over in the Warehouse District behind the Indigo. Tough to park, but it'll be worth it. All right, having said that, let's go up to number 3. Julie from Sprout Lab. I'm really excited about Julie. I saw her speak in Grand Rapids, so I'm excited to see you speak.
Oh, thanks a lot.
So here's Julie Cowie.
Thank you. So it's a real pleasure for me to be here and have a nice sunny drive up from Grand Rapids today. So let's see, I think I went too many. Okay, so there's 2 kinds of entrepreneurs in the world, right? There's the guy on the right, Stephen McBride, who over the past 6 months developed an idea he had for a gamer's lounge. Got a lot of focus on who his customer is, launched in Flint, won $1,500 at a recent competition. And then there's the rest of us who have lots of ideas. And someday we think we might want to launch something, but we're not quite at that logical stage that Stefan is, where he can line out his idea, investors get it, and put money into it. So I run a program called Sprout Lab, which is based at the Center for Entrepreneurship at Grand Valley in Grand Rapids. And basically, Sprout Lab offers education to people who have an idea. And in a concentrated workshop format, 2 days, we help you figure out the commercial potential of your idea. And mainly, we help you organize your thinking so that other people can track your idea, see the value of it, and so you can learn how to explain your idea to somebody else who might be in a position to help you. Because there is help out there. SBDC offers free counseling. So 10 years ago, my husband and I had an idea we wanted to launch. So we dutifully met with the SBDC counselor in our county, who gave us a beautiful Excel spreadsheet that was perfect for our situation. The problem was my husband and I were really not at that point. We didn't know what we didn't know as new entrepreneurs. And so the help that was available was not the right fit for where we were. Just like Northern Initiatives is a wonderful organization that offers low interest loans. SBDC has funding right now. And the word that they shared with us is some of the entrepreneurs aren't ready for that kind of funding. So the Sprout Lab workshop that we offer can get somebody ready to take advantage of a lot of the resources available. 5x5 night, that's the start garden. It's a bit in transition, but 5 judges, 5 minutes, $5,000, your opportunity. So our basic approach is to use the business model canvas. This is what it looks like. Actually, this is just a version of the business model canvas, a simplified version, actually. So we're not into narrative business plans. We want you to think about the variety of things somebody needs to think about to launch successfully. It also might be a good environment for somebody who has launched and might be thinking about a new product. And again, it's just a way to organize your thinking so that you're ready for the audiences you're going to have as an entrepreneur in the entrepreneur ecosystem. We are a very engaging format. We are very low tech. There is no PowerPoint or slides or anything like that. We bring in guests. When we had a boot camp here in Traverse City a little more than a year ago, we were at Northwestern Michigan College. We brought in local patent attorneys, counselors and people who you would normally connect with then after the workshop. Our simple goal in the workshop is to help you get clear about what your next steps are. And we realize for 15 entrepreneurs who might gather around the table, that's going to be 15 different steps. We bring in entrepreneurs who have exited to tell their story, to be like mentors or inspiration. We count on entrepreneurs to teach other entrepreneurs. So we realize that starting up is different from running a business. And so, this is the kind of environment that we offer. You'll see on the right there, that is Terra Firma, where we hold a happy hour. We believe in happy hours and networking. The end of day one includes a happy hour. If we can get on location, all the better. So our basic format is 8 to 5, 2 days in a row, happy hour on day one. And then we offer all kinds of connectivity, at the end of day 2, so that you're assisted in your next step. We really try to find people working in relative isolation. Obviously, people coming out to a group like this are not people working in isolation, but sometimes those folks who are a little bit reticent to say yes to any kind of help find this format pretty enlivening because you're focused on your own idea. So I'm a maniac about time. Oh, there's my 5 minutes. And the clipboard is right there. So if anybody wants more information, I send out emails very rarely, but sign up. There's a business card. I'm happy to talk with you too at the networking. Questions? Comments, suggestions? Yes.
Love the sounds of this. How long have you been doing this?
We started in 2013. We had a workshop in Grand Rapids in November of 2013. We've been around the state a bit, so a couple of years.
And how do you fund it?
We've been grant funded.
Okay.
So we're interested in coming here if there's a nucleus of people who might be interested. And we have to probably track down some sponsors for the participant. It's really affordable. It's been under 150 bucks. For students, it's 25 bucks because we really want students of any kind to sign up. We want to promote entrepreneurship. Yes.
How do you track the entrepreneurs?
The size is small now, so but we use SurveyMonkey and stuff like that occasionally. But it's very relationship focused, and so we kind of just know what people need next. Does that answer your question?
I mean, like when you were forming, how do you track entrepreneurs?
Tracked them. Who is the executive director of the Center for Entrepreneurship, is also a grant angel. So he's very connected to the investment community. And so he just has really strong relationships. He's been running Smart Zone in Grand Rapids. And so and then Kevin also has a home up in Leelanau, so he's connected to the angel group here. So it's just a web of relationships. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Do you provide that first 2-day workshop?
We have a variety of resources. So if somebody needs coaching, like for example, there was a woman who came to our workshop, found out she was on deck for pair her up with a coach to help her really fine tune her pitch. It just varies as much as the people, and we have a lot of resources in Grand Rapids, and we certainly are discovering some fabulous resources here in Traverse City. So if there is something that's lacking in Traverse City, we can support you from Grand Rapids or from somewhere else in the state, MEDC or Detroit or whatever. Yes?
Any of the other incubators in the Grand Rapids area?
We partner with tons of people, but we actually, like the Current has been our primary partner. Like I know there are other, we would cross promote things like Startup Weekend and stuff like that. Thanks so much for your time.
Sorry, Joey, dropped the mic. That couldn't sound good. Well, to Echo for the space. It's just such a nice space, and we've really enjoyed being here the last couple months. So thanks so much to the fine folks here at Echo. Named 2014's best meeting and event venue by readers of Michigan Meetings Plus Events Magazine. Not a bad thing to get. So there's the number, there's the email, and they really do a nice job. So we appreciate their support. And of course, Traverse Legal, attorneys and advisors. Enrico and his team practice internet law, intellectual property, and complex litigation. Clients like you, problems like yours, and they really do a nice job and really approachable, great group of lawyers. Complex litigation, patent law, cyber squatting, the whole deal. So there's their stuff, and definitely encourage you to contact those guys, even though they're a competitor. But I don't do what they do. So, and they're awfully good at what they do. And of course, our friends, Brian Traverse Business Designs, Joy DeFranco. They really do a wonderful job. I can say that from experience. I know some people that have gone through Joey and his team, and they're top-notch, soup to nuts. They do it all. They got video, as you can see. Joey's got the camera, multimedia, WordPress, the whole deal. So they really do a nice job. Expert web design and development. They take your ideas and bring them to life on the web. And they do a nice sort of social marketing package, Facebook, things like that. So it's the web interface, but also the interaction behind it. So great job. I was going to get a shout out to them. And there's time for announcements. Do we have anyone that'd like to say anything before we move on to our fourth presenter? Hearing none, I'm very happy to present Christy Galicki. I'm probably mispronouncing your name. Galosi, I apologize, from Grand Traverse Academy.
Okay, so the proposition that I have for you tonight is a little bit different than what you're probably used to seeing here. I am a teacher at Grand Traverse Academy, and I'm going to be speaking largely in acronyms tonight to try to get through this in under the 5 minutes. I also am not above bribery, and so I'll be asking you guys to participate a little bit. So you would probably know me as a science teacher if I told you what I did and from your past experience with education. But there's a paradigm shift happening in education these days, and we're on the precipice really of a very huge paradigm shift, and it's largely driven by technology. And so is anybody familiar with STEM, or has anyone heard of STEM? Can somebody tell me what STEM is? Non-educators. I know there's some educators in the audience tonight, so.
Science, tech, engineering.
Wait, good. Science, tech, engineering. Okay, it's a smarty for you. So science, technology, engineering, and math. And so you can see that the change in science education with the technology and the engineering. And so really my role as a teacher, as a science teacher, is evolving into a STEM teacher that includes all of that. A lesser known cousin, STEAM. I have Smarties, if someone can tell me what STEAM stands for. It brings the arts into it. Catch? There you go. So so science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math. Which helps bring that creative component into the sciences and technology and those kinds of things. So that innovation and that creativity that really is so necessary in education. So now I'm going to twist it around a little bit. I'm going to give you the subjects, the domains, and see if somebody can figure out what the acronym is. So you've got health, arts, math, science, technology, engineering, reading, foreign language, and other associated topics.
School, university, private,
You know what? All these like logic people, I thought somebody would be like taking those for stuff. Okay, these are hamster floats. And any school, and no, we don't really call them that, but let's see. I'll just throw a few of these out. Nobody really got it, but there's some Smarties. Maybe eat these and you get it next time. Okay, so the thing about technology and education is that it's essential in 21st century learning, but most teacher technology training let's see if I can get this to work, looks something like this, okay? So this is a teacher going through her technology training or his technology training, and they're like, I got this. This is great. I can't wait to take this to my students. This is going to be awesome. And then this is the classroom implementation. And usually how this goes, okay? And I'm sure every occupation has its moment. So, yeah. So you hit those bumps, and this is the student now. The teacher is pretty much the one that you'll see flying around the outside. But we try to, you know, you go through, that's the teacher, and the student is just like, get out of the way, okay, I got this. But the point is that it changes so fast, and we go through these workshops, and you get this kind of superficial understanding of the technology that you're trying to bring into your classroom. But in the classroom, you hit that deep incompetence pit that displays itself for all of your students to see. And there is learning in the struggle, and it's not a bad thing, but a lot of times that struggle just gets to a point where you really don't know what to do and you don't know how to solve the problem. So back to the acronyms, PBLs, and what are PBLs and what does this have to do with you? PBL, there's actually two different kinds of PBL that I'm going to tell you about, and I actually just want to show you first. The first one, sorry, I'll back this up a little bit. First PBL was project-based learning, and I don't know if this wasn't something that was around when I was in school, but as a teacher, this is something that we're practicing more. These students are building what's known as a UROV, an underwater remotely operated vehicle. Sometimes it's called an UIVD, an underwater innovative vehicle design. And you see they're in a classroom, but they're not doing typical classwork. There's no books involved. There's tools involved. They're going through that iterative process of designing something, building it, creating it, testing it, and going back and fixing what didn't work and doing this over and over again, which is great. This is a different kind of learning. Kids love this. But there's this other essential part and this other PBL that's called place-based learning. So you probably recognize the water. This is the bay. These are some of the same students working on the same project. Can I give you some Smarties this year?
How much longer we got?
I'm almost done. So on the water, these guys actually short. This wouldn't have been possible. I'll just get to this real quick since we're running out of time. Without these three gentlemen in the back here. This is who I want to point out to you. Dr. Holloway and two of his students from NMC. He teaches nautical archaeology and anthropology classes at NMC, and he is one of our community partners, partnered with us for this particular project, so that we could take these students out of the classroom, get them into their natural resources. We've got shipwrecks, we've got lakes, put these things they designed and built in the water. They basically assisted us with searching for a shipwreck, right? And I'm just going to back up. These guys didn't even find the ship. I only had one team that actually found their ship. I had teams that put their ROVs in the water and they didn't work at all. Okay? But they had a process. And so back to the very beginning, what I'm compelled to do it without you. And what I'm asking is for people to volunteer their time in ways. I have students that are working with a lot of the toys that you present in my capacity to problem solve and troubleshoot with those things. And we just invite you to our classrooms. It's an hour a week and donate your expertise and help these students realize their potential. Florida is really the new books are going away. It's not book learning. There's no textbooks anymore. It's just trial and error. Try it, and yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you a couple. So, quick announcement. grade is showcasing their STEM projects. And it's if you're kind of curious and you want to see what these projects are, I have a classroom where I have 8 groups of kids doing 8 different projects. Some of them involve working with microcomputers. Some of them are building ROVs. I've got kids trying to build a 3D printer. We've got 3D printers that are built, but they don't know how to use them yet. Yeah.
So where are you getting some of these classrooms from?
I would say a lot of it is driven by some of the workshops that are available for teachers. The ROV workshop, I would say Keith started that 8 years ago, 10 years ago now. Keith Fortin, who teaches at Traverse City Central and has really driven that technology in this area and really kind of gotten that out into schools. I look for them. Sometimes it's what the kids want to do, what they're interested in. I do have 2 students that are here tonight who we sat down with some community people at the beginning of the year and said, what do you guys want to do? They're seniors at this point in their career and moving on to college. They don't need to read textbooks anymore. They need to use them as resources. And so we actually gathered some community members. They're here tonight. Workshops. So I actually had, there's a picture in there of a team of kids that compete. I usually take at least 1 team every year. And the kids love it. But there's a difference that there's this competition that's put on by MATE, which is the Marine Advanced Technology Education organization. And they sponsor a competition every year in Alpena. Kids from all over the region, including Canada, participate in that. The top 2 go to international competition. So it's a form of robotics, basically, but it's underwater robotics. And it's a great competition. What this place-based learning does is it makes it all real. So at the competition, the kids get like a task or a challenge, and there's this fake underwater PVC world that they drive their rovers around and try to solve these problems. What this place-based learning does is it makes the activity a real activity, and it brings real people from the community into the classroom to help facilitate that. And it doesn't happen without that community partnership. And there's other people here tonight that Drea has worked at partnering people. Part of the problem is brokering that partnership and that relationship. Where do you go? That's why I'm here. I'm pleading with people to come into the classroom to help with these projects. But Conservation District has been an organization that helps broker those partnerships. College has helped out a little bit with that. So,
how many opportunities do you have to network with other STEM educators like yourself?
I would say there are some. I mean, professional development doesn't focus on that. The professional development we have to go through, we have to seek that out.
Okay.
And so I will only network with those teachers if I'm looking for it. I wouldn't say that the opportunities are always out there. The Grand Traverse Conservation District is one organization that does put those opportunities out there. Oftentimes, a lot of the same teachers kind of participate in that. So there's really no really good, easy way to broker those partnerships. And that's one of the pieces that's kind of missing in this whole paradigm shift and moving education forward. We're just, trying to keep up with all the technological changes, and education has to. It's a necessity. It's not, do we or don't we? It's like, we have to do this. What's the way forward, So. Any questions? Music.
I want to kind of come back to the email address to Chris Galosi, right, Chris? Is it Galosi?
Pardon, Galosi.
Galosi. All right, right on. Galosi K at mygta.us. Another STEM showcase next Tuesday, May 10th. This is great, and it's exciting for them to come to our community and say that they'd like to have some help and some volunteers. And this is a smart group. This is a smart area. So thanks very much, Chris. Really enjoyed that. Going to go into a little bit of sponsors again. Where's Chris? Hey, Chris. This is his company. Elevate Net. They do wireless networking, on/off-site file backup, remote desktop, remote network support, phone services, computer repair, video surveillance, and rural video surveillance. All right, right on. I didn't catch that one. And rural urban broadband. He does it all. And thanks, Chris. We have our network streaming to YouTube from him. So thanks so much, Chris. Really appreciate the support as always. And this is from our friends at the Traverse City Area Chamber of Commerce. They're usually here. We got a representative that usually comes, but it's an active group. They've supported us all along, and we certainly want to, recognize that. This is one of their handouts. Very nice. Impact, connect, inspire. So certainly encourage you to check them out. And of course, our social. This is a pretty good segue. I don't know. I like this segue because here's Josh Kent right here. And he's been with us all along. A supporter at the very, very first Sunfrog. He's our social hour sponsor today. And one of the things that I get personal gratification out of from TCNewTech is having people that present come back and say what's going on or what's good, what isn't. And the last couple of meetings, we've been really lucky to have that. And we're exceptionally lucky today to have Josh here. So I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much. If you would.
For an update?
Yeah, just for an update. We got you up on your update, and then that's it.
Right, surprise update, I guess.
Sorry, hey, I'm as surprised as you are.
All right.
How much time you want?
2 minutes, something great.
All right, so
Yeah, so Sunfrog is about 2 years old now, and we've got about 350 employees. We're currently hiring another 65. We have job openings for right now. It's going awesome. We have a new office here in Traverse City. Jen Berrigan, sitting right here, is heading up the office over here. We only have a few people. We're having a hard time finding technical talent. So if you know of geeky people, we need those geeky people. Programmers, database administrators, graphic designers, social media experts. We're looking for experts in every area. We're looking for YouTube guys, Instagram people, every aspect of the social media. And if you're not familiar with the Sunfrog platform, we quickly became the world's largest t-shirt website. We did it in about a year. We have between 4 and 5 million designs on our website right now. And to put that in perspective with Amazon or eBay, they probably combined have maybe around 150 to 200,000 designs. So nobody comes even close to us as far as designs. And the reason that is we have an artist upload platform. People the design, and in real simple terms, you upload a design to our website, you get $1 signs out. The seller who sells your shirt for you, you upload your own design, sell your own design, you get $9 on every t-shirt. Some others that pay about 15%. Works straight up. It's an affiliate program. Late 2014 Facebook fan pages. It used to be if you had a fan page with thousands of followers, you could post, and it meant thousands of people saw your post. Late 2014, when Facebook said, "We're not do that anymore," and crickets were chirping. You now have to boost your post. If you have a fan page, you know what I'm talking about. You hit boost, then it goes out to your network. That's when our company really took off, because then we could boost posts and we could buy ads. And if you guys are not doing direct targeting, power in that, target someone, like somebody was talking about the new job website, you can literally employ what you're selling. You can keep narrowing it down. It's like Google pay-per-clicks, because you go pick your customer, put your Sunfrog. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I've never seen the updates. Do they usually go this long? Do we run a little long?
Hey, you're doing great.
All right, I'm winging it. So
you say you want someone to work for you? Yeah, I like it.
all right. So when we're drinking over there, if anybody is techie, come see me. We're always looking for new talent. Prior to starting Sunfrog was called Alpine Web, and it's a web development firm. We've got about 800, I have no idea, I'm sorry, customers, and they're basically like the Father Fred site that you're talking about, sites from the ground up, things like that. Jen focuses her energies on that. So we got a lot going on. It's an awesome company. I have at the program. You know, I was telling Mike here, I worked for him about 15 years ago, kind of raised me. I was about 17 when I started working for him there. And I got about 20 good ideas, and Sunfrog was the one that popped. And it's like, sometimes you got to have a few irons fire for one to hit. And I thought I had a lot better ideas than the t-shirt website.
So we got Randy Bishop's going to say a couple words. Before we get into that, a couple quick housekeeping things. So I just want to say some thank yous. Felicia, thank you for helping out so much. Sarah, thanks. You're always here helping out. Twitter, follow, was it TCNewTech on Twitter?